I'm here today to talk about my new thread collection for Aurifil, which I'm super excited about. And not just because I got free spools of thread, not because of that. But just in case for those in the back, if you can't see the label, just want to make sure everyone can see it. Yeah, it took me all day looking in a mirror to draw myself, and I immediately wanted to go get plastic surgery and some dental work done, but it came out all right. And as Julie pointed out, I can never ever change my glasses again. So when I get new glasses, I guess I'll have to talk to Alex and come out with a new box packaging. So these are my two new thread collections for Aurifil. We have the large case, which has 12 colors. And then the smaller pack, which has 10 colors. And the way I chose the colors for this, it was very specific. If you're familiar with any of my work, you know that I'm predominantly a patchwork quilter. I patchwork for days and days and days and days and days. My quilts, typically I like to put a lot of colors in my quilts, and sometimes a single color thread just doesn't do the job. So I chose my colors based on several shades of variegated thread, because as I'm patchworking, I will have a white piece next to a hot pink piece, next to an orange piece, next to a blue piece, and one color, so you can't really go light or dark. So I did a collection of bright variegated threads that will, right? Thumbs up. All right, we should go get drinks later. Yeah, we'll get to that. And so we're also going to give one of these large packs away at the end of this. Yes. Right? Free stuff's awesome. I know. Yeah, thumbs up. You and I, we're totally in sync. And then for this, and what I've done here is, when I'm patchworking, I need that sort of change of color to blend into all the brightly colored fabrics that I use. But when it comes to the actual top quilting, I tend to go either light gray or dark gray, because I want that thread to just sink into the fabrics. And what I've found with my quilts and quilting is that either a light pale gray or a darker gray will fall into just about any color that I have. So that's why you'll see in the larger pack, you have all your variegateds, and then you have one solid, pale, kind of creamy gray, and one sort of darker medium gray. And that's, in my mind, I mean, you can use them for whatever you want, but in my mind, that's for the top quilting. This is what I use. And so what we did this time is, all these samples up here were all made with the thread and my new fabric collection, Acacia, for Westminster Fibers. Plug. And then in the smaller pack, you're very rarely, if ever, going to do any top quilting with a small spool of thread. So in the smaller pack that only has 10 colors, we left those two solids out. So it's just the color pieces that you would use for patchworking, bag work. It's a 50 weight cotton thread, which is my preferred thread for patchwork quilting. And what's really great about especially this little pack is that I'm also introducing with Westminster. Can we hold this up? Yeah. This is my mom. My mom. Yay! She made me and I made this. Yeah. You have it? Okay. So this is a quilt that we're offering. It's a pre-cut quilt kit that we're offering through Free Spirit Fabrics Westminster Fibers using my new fabric line. And it's a hand English piecing kit. All your pieces come pre-cut. This is the best add-on sale for this quilt kit. You offer the quilt kit, then you offer the small thread pack, as this is what you use to sew all the pieces together. Because if you've ever done any English paper piecing or hand piecing, you know you always want to match that color thread to the fabric you're working on. This entire quilt was made with this. And if you find a thread sticking out on the front that's like super high contrast that you can see, just don't tell me. I like to be lied to. I enjoy it. But so you can see here that you pretty much have a color for every single star in this quilt that'll sink in, that'll disappear, that'll match your fabric. And that's what I was really trying to do with the thread colors that I chose, and why I chose to do the variegated and the shades that I chose, is so that it coordinates back with all of my different products. So if you carry one thing, every single product I put out, whether it be fabric, ribbons, kits, all require thread. And this matches every single thing I have out under my name on the market. And also, so this is the pink variegated thread as the top quilting on a little pillow, and you can see when it goes over the prints, it sort of sinks in, and it's just a barely there thread color. And can you hand me that little dot? Yes. And then sometimes you want to see it. And so I just took on my Brittany and I took all the little each thread and did just sort of a decorative stitch and made sort of my own fabric out of just the thread on a just plain colored linen. And it's cool the way the pattern sort of eases in and eases out. It creates a really nice effect. But you're more than welcome to come up and look at all of the samples too. We'll have all of these in my booth 2251. Let's do the butterfly one also. Was anybody in my earlier Schoolhouse for the fabric? Mm-hmm. Okay, repeat. Pretend you never see it. Showing. Yeah, if we could just ooh and ah with the same enthusiasm, that would be awesome. Thanks. That's the bottom that you have right there. There you go. So this also was completely pieced and quilted with the Aurifil colors. And it's that light creamy gray is the top thread, the quilting thread on this. So you can see how it falls into a plain cream background, but also falls in really nicely over the colors. And that's what I mean by liking the two solids. I sort of either go dark or I go light. On this one here, this hand piece one is the dark gray thread. This is the light gray thread for quilting. And so I provide my quilter with cones of those colors so that she can use those. They come in cones, correct, Alex? Yes. Isn't that what we sent her?
What about the variegated?
Back up. Do the variegateds come in cones? Yeah, but those aren't mine, so buy those on your own time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't get a percentage of that sale.
I don't like it either.
I only get the ones with my face on them. So that's what I was trying to achieve. It's a bright colored pack of thread, but it can be used sort of as its own star, like in the little pouch with decorative stitching, or it can blend into the current products I have on the market. The new fabric line Acacia, it looks really lovely with saltwater also. It also works really. I top stitched down all my new ribbons for Renaissance ribbons, each using a different color thread. So the thread is really versatile across all the different products. I work super hard to match it to everything, so that if you carry one, I mean, it's a perfect add-on sale with every single project. Oh, are we still collecting names and stuff? Oh, we got some over here. Does anybody have any questions about the thread? Oh, we were just like fanning ourselves? Yes. I use the 50 weight for everything. And it might be called laziness, but no, I just actually genuinely like that weight. I like the 50 weight for sewing. I like it for the top quilting. I like it for everything because it's strong enough, but it's also fine enough to fall in. Because I like the quilting to be able to be viewed by the shadow it creates. rather than by sort of a bold volume statement. So, and that's why all my quilts are double batted to give just a little extra shadow. And that's why they're so stiff. Sorry, what?
What bats do you use? Because you use double, what do you use?
Double batting?
No, I mean, which ones do you use?
Yeah, it's a cotton poly blend, Quilter Stream.
So you use both of them, okay.
Just 2 layers of the same batting. It creates an extra 1/16 of an inch of shadow for that thread to fall into. If anybody's ever tried to photograph a quilt, you suffer about a 10 to 15% detail loss in the photograph. Adding that extra piece of batting with that really fine thread, it gives you that little 1/16 of an inch that creates that little extra shadow, and you can actually see the quilting in the photographs. And so that's how I use the thread and the batting to create a little more shadow, so that, because I feel like my quilter, Angela Walters,
Yeah, she's awesome.
I know, she's great, right? She does such beautiful work, but I really feel that she owns the design of her quilting because it's her creation. So I don't reproduce her quilting designs in my patterns or in my books, but by giving it that little extra shadow, you can see it. So that's how I kind of honor her without violating her. But if you're clever and you have a little magnifying glass, you might be able to get to it. Sorry, Angela, this is being videotaped too, so that's like a really bad idea. But so we have everything in our booth this market. I think there's like 20 or 30 samples, lots and lots of them, are all sewn with this thread collection. So if you want to see how it works in a bag as a decorative element, with the ribbons, with the fabrics, with anything, definitely come by and check that out. This one is top quilted with it's sort of a goldish to olive green tone, so it falls in and pops out. And I like that effect of sort of the ebb and flow of the thread. It's not so steady and solid as it would be like with a dark color or a light color, but it kind of falls into the fabric and then pops back out. So you get to see it a little bit, but then ignore it if you need to as well, which is what a thread should, for my projects, is what I really want out of a thread.